This paper is aimed at discussing the similarities and differences between cats and dogs. These animals are often regarded as bitter antagonists that cannot coexist. Nevertheless, they can actually bear resemblance to one another. For instance, one should mention their interactions with people and their eating habits. Nevertheless, it is critical to remember important distinctions which are related to their behavior. In particular, one should speak about their ability to follow commands or their response to other animals. Still, despite these differences, these animals can coexist provided that they are raised together. To a great extent, the knowledge of these issues can be important for the owners who need to ensure the proper development of these animals. These are the main aspects that can be singled out. First, it is important to discuss the eating habits of cats and dogs. In particular, one should mention that they are mammals, and they are fed with milk during childhood. It is important for the health of puppies or kittens. This is one of the details that can be distinguished. Moreover, they are carnivorous animals. This argument is particularly relevant if one speaks about cats that require meat in order to receive the necessary intake of nutrients. Nevertheless, they can sometimes eat plant food if there are no other resources available to them. Still, they tend to eat meat by preference. Moreover, plant food can harm them, and cats are particularly exposed to this risk. This is one of the aspects that can be distinguished. In turn, the owners of these animals should make sure that they have access to the nutrients which are critical for their proper development and long-term health. Furthermore, one should focus on the similarities in their behavior. At first, they can easily interact with people, even those ones who are not their owners. Certainly, much depends on the pedigree of a particular cat or a dog, so it is rather difficult to make generalizations. Nevertheless, this trend has been observed among most cats and dogs. Moreover, they can display affection to their owners if they are properly taken care of. Apart from that, it is critical to remember that in most cases, these animals remain inactive during many parts of the day. As a rule, one can speak only about short outbursts of activity, which is usually related to playing. These are some of the similarities that can be distinguished. Nevertheless, it is also important to remember some important distinctions. First of all, cats better tolerate loneliness. One should bear in mind that some cats can be left alone in the house, whereas many dogs such as dachshunds can find this experience almost intolerable. Under such circumstances, they can easily damage furniture. This is one of the critical distinctions that should be considered by the owners. Nevertheless, the owners should remember that both cats and dogs need attention, and its lack can adversely affect their development. Additionally, dogs are willing to take part in group activities. For instance, one can speak about stray dogs that usually form packs. In contrast, cats strive to be more independent. Apart from that, it is important to remember that cats are more cautious of animals that enter their territory. One should take into account that both cats and dogs can coexist if they were raised together. So, the animosity between cats and dogs is not always inevitable. This is one of the points that can be made. Additionally, it is critical to remember that dogs can be trained to obey simple commands. These animals can also be taught to fetch a variety of objects. In contrast, cats do not usually follow people's directions. Furthermore, one should mention that dogs need regular exercises in order to retain physical fitness. This is one of the aspects that owners should take into account, since they should be ready to spend more time on such pets. In contrast, cats are better able to maintain physical fitness without regular exercise. Finally, it is vital to mention that cats are active hunters. As a rule, these felines hunt alone. In turn, dogs usually have a weaker instinct for hunting, especially if they are not trained to act in this way. This is one of the reasons why dogs require more physical exercises. These are the main differences that can be singled out. This discussion indicates that cats and dogs can have common attributes. These similarities are primarily related to their eating habits and interactions with people. Nevertheless, it is vital to speak about differences in their behavior. Much attention should be paid to such details as playfulness, group activities, or hunting. These factors should be taken into account by people who intend to own a cat or a dog. They need to anticipate possible challenges. These are the main details that should not be overlooked. This and many other essays are available at studycorgi.com.